Hey everyone, Russell here, and thank you for joining me for another Xbox One game collection video. As you can see, I have some of my stuff out here already. These are two of my three Xboxes. I have the Xbox One X, which I picked up a little over a month ago on day one. Really happy with that. I have my this is a pearl white Quantum Break Edition Xbox One. And then upstairs I have my regular day one Xbox. It's just a regular black one. Didn't feel like getting that one out. It's hooked up in the bedroom. It's a mess. So anyway, I'm going to jump right into it because I'm up to 96 physical copies, and I've probably got about half a dozen digital copies of games that just simply don't have a physical release. So we're a little over 100 games. The only download game I can remember that I have right off the top of my head is Friday the 13th. I will pick that up on physical someday, but not my favorite game. It's okay. My cousin is crazy about that game. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this collection video. No particular order, so let's go ahead and get started. Hope I'm saying this right. Avian Colony. Pretty cool, like, I guess it's like a SimCity versus Civilization kind of game. Not quite as detailed, but pretty fun, pretty cheap, worth the money. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I think that's the only Assassin's Creed game I have. Angry Birds Star Wars. I know, it's weird, right? But it's actually really good, and especially if you're like with a buddy or something and you guys are having a couple of beers or something like that, and it's fun. Even like family fun too. You know, play it with the family, and you wouldn't want to drink beers with your family unless your kids are older, I guess. All right, Batman: Arkham Knight, and then Batman: The Telltale. Highly recommend that. I think a sequel's coming out shortly for that. Blood Bowl. It's pretty good. It's basically a football game where you're humans versus ogres, and there's a little bit different rules, like basically amped up violence, things like that. Battlefield Hardline. I actually really enjoyed that. A lot of people hated on it because they felt it was a reskinned Battlefield, which it is, but a lot of games are like that. There was enough difference to where I felt it was justified, and I don't think it was a full price game anyway. Battlefield 4. The first Battlefront. It's all right. Good looking game, but lacking a first or story actually. Blaze Blue Extended. It's all right. I like the art style of the fight. It's a fighting game, and I like the art style. It's like cell. Here, let me show you if it does. It's like a cell shaded. It's really cool. Borderlands: The Handsome Collection. I don't know why they didn't include. I think it's. Yeah, they put the pre-sequel and then Borderlands 2, but they didn't put 1 on there. Kind of weird. Tales from Borderlands. I really like that one. That's another Telltale. I'm a big fan of the Telltale games. There's only one so far that I do not recommend. Battlefield 1. Can't go wrong there. Great game. Battleborn. Cities Skyline. Surprisingly good. Awesome port to the Xbox One. Very impressed that they were able to get it to run as smoothly and as quickly as they could just on the regular Xbox One console. I do want to see how it runs on the X, see if it runs any faster. Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. And no, I don't have World War II yet, but it's on the list. Infinite Warfare with the Modern Warfare Remaster. And I do like the stories on the Call of Duties. I don't think there's one I haven't liked yet. But the online, just not for me. I'm more of a Battlefield guy when it comes to the multiplayer because I like vehicles. I like more. I'm not a run and gun guy. I'm more tactical. Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Sorry guys, I'm trying to fight hiccups in the middle of this video. Alright, I'm going to say this properly. It's just The Crew. It's not Need for Speed The Crew, which for the longest time I was saying. It's just The Crew. It's not bad. Not a bad attempt at a open world racing game. Not bad. Dynasty Warriors 8. Awesome button masher. Doom. Awesome game. For some reason, I just haven't finished it yet, and I always mean to get back to it. It's just on the list, man. I got such a backlog, it's ridiculous. Diablo. I love that game. I've probably beat this one like 3 or 4 times. It's really good. Cool expansion pack as well. I forget what it's called though, but it's worth it. Deus Ex. I've loaded this on my Xbox a couple of times and then deleted it because I needed the space. I just have not started it yet. Oh, that is Mankind Divided, by the way. Dying Light. It's like parkour with zombies, and I think I think I'm tired of zombies for a little while. So maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it that much. I played a little bit of it and that was it. But I know a lot of people really enjoy the game, so it's probably me. It's not the game, it's probably me. The first Destiny, just the basic edition, although I did pick up Destiny 2 and now I'm like really into it, so I'm thinking about picking up the complete edition because I haven't done like I think it's the Taken King or something like that. I'm sorry if I'm getting the name wrong, but I haven't done a lot of the DLCs on that. The Evil Within. I haven't finished that game either. There's this one spot I keep getting stuck at. Kind of interested in the second one. Want to wait for it to get pretty cheap though. Evolve. I had high hopes for this. I even bought it day one, and I was disappointed. Far Cry 4. Another game I just have to get to. I know it's a sin, right? Farming Simulator 15. Well, you farm. That's all I got to say about that. Oh, this is fun. Family Fun pack. It's Conquest Edition, so it's got like Battleship, Scrabble, Monopoly, Plus, which is different. It's got, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's really fun. And Risk. Really fun, like with your buddy or your family or something like that. It's really fun. I like playing Monopoly with computers over the board because then you don't have to worry about people cheating and losing to pieces. It's just a pain in the butt. Game of Thrones, Telltale. I have never seen an episode of Game of Thrones. However, this makes me want to. This was really good. So highly recommend that. That's another Telltale game that I love, man. Like I said, there's only one that I hate. Speaking of games that I don't hate it, but it's broken. Industry Giant 2, Be a Tycoon. I had this whole simulation phase I was going through where I wanted to play all sorts of games, and I don't have a computer really worth a crap. And I'm just not a PC guy anymore, so trying to work with what I got here. And let me tell you, what the problem is, I'm in a tutorial, and what it's telling me to do is the same control for something else, so it's activating that. It's a broken game. I have not been able to figure out how to get by that. So maybe someday I'll head back to it. Maybe they'll update it. I don't know. I don't have high hopes, though, that they're going to update it. I think it's pretty much broken, and I took a chance on a cheap game, and sometimes it pays off, and like this one, obviously, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see here. Gears of War 4. I thought it was good. Not as good as like 2 or 3, or I think it was up there with 1. 1 is good, but I really enjoyed 2 and 3. Speaking of 1, there's the Ultimate Edition. They did a good job. Looks great. I think that's now actually one of the games that are enhanced for the Xbox One X. There's a handful of games that they redid and just look gorgeous. Ghost Recon. Oh, that is one of my favorite games of the year. I think it came out this year. Yeah, it came out this year. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale. Another Telltale game that is freaking awesome. Let's see here. New stack. Every time I show this game, I get comments saying, don't even bother, and I have not yet. It's a Steelbook edition of Homefront: The Revolution. I heard this game is terrible, but it was a Steelbook edition, and I got it for like $2 brand new at Best Buy. So, I mean, whatever. I guess I could always use it as a coaster or something. Halo, the Master Chief Collection. I really dug that. 4 games in one. I think they should have done that with the Gears of War series. Who knows? Maybe they will. Halo Wars 2. I think that one is enhanced too for the One X. I'm just going by memory on these enhances, so if I get some wrong or leave some out, my bad. I think this is another one too, Halo 5. Uh, Probably one of the weakest of the Halos because you don't play as Master Chief a lot. They lead you to believe there's going to be this big showdown between, I think it's Locke and Master Chief, and that never happens. And it's leaving you hanging for Halo 6. And just, it's very short, but it's very beautiful looking game, and I do like how they updated the controls. Oh, Just Cause 3. Oh my god, I hope they do a 4. I love these games. I love this game more than Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I think this is superior to Grand Theft Auto. I'm going to get a lot of shit. I always do, but that's how I feel. I think there's a lot more options, and the environment's a lot more destructible, and I just think there's more shit to do. Admittedly, the story is a lot weaker, but that's not normally why I play those types of games. I play them just to blow shit up and have fun and steal cars and jets and explore. I mean, that's just part of what these open world games are about. Killer Instinct. It's good. I'm more of a Mortal Kombat guy myself, but it's alright. Alright, I'm going to try to get this name right, because I get it wrong a lot. Battle Worlds Chronos. It's really cool. It's a strategy game, grid-based. However, they don't really... I don't think they offer at all a easier mode. They start you off pretty tough and even tell you that the game is exceedingly hard, which is a real turnoff because I think I've beat one level or something like that, and then it just gets ridiculous. So I haven't revisited it yet. Lego Marvel Superheroes. Mass Effect Andromeda. Definitely the weakest in the whole line of Mass Effect. However, I don't think it was a bad game at all. I wish the choices would have mattered like in the last ones, but you know, I don't make the games. Mega Man, the Legacy Collection. I'll say it before in other videos. I'll say it again in this one. I don't know why I bought it. I'll probably end up buying the other one just to try it if it's cheap enough, but I'm not a big Mega Man fan. I mean, I like the little guy. I want to like the games, but damn, they're tough. Monopoly Fun Pack. That's just another fun game for the family. Mighty Number 9. I actually like this one better than Mega Man, and it's basically a clone, but it's still not that great of a game in my book. Here's a great game, Mortal Kombat X. Me and my cousin play the hell out of this. My only complaint with X is Noob Saibot is not in it anymore, and he was my player. Him and Katana, but I mean she's in X, so I use her. She's pretty dope, but still miss Noob. Murdered Soul Suspect. That's really good. That's like a hidden gem right there, man. I don't want to break it. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but it's a good game. Another one, Mafia 3, well worth the money. Definitely thinking about getting the expansions on that, and I'm not actually one that gets a lot of expansion packs. Cousin gave me this, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Another sin. I actually have not finished it. Me and him have played a couple hours of it. He has played the shit out of it and loves this series. And, it's got a huge fan base, I understand. But I'm kind of new to it and just haven't gotten to it. Really disappointed in this. It's clunky. It's not ported well over to the Xbox. Payday 2. There's a moth flying around in this room because I have the door open. Sorry, guys. Oh, this was fun. Prison Architect. This is a really fun game. It's you run a prison and it's really simple, and man, it'll keep you occupied for hours. I'll tell you that. Project Cars, another cool game. Let's see here. Quantum Break. I had high hopes for it. Not a bad game. It's a good game, but I think it did not live up to the hopes that Microsoft and everyone had for it. Recore. This is an underrated game. Very pretty game. About halfway through with it. Got distracted. Need to get back to it though, but really fun game. Puzzle game, and I'm not a big puzzle guy, so that's actually high praise from me. Rise, Son of Rome. I think this was like a day one for Xbox. You can't go wrong with that. I think it's a great game. Resident Evil 5, and here's some more hate I'm going to get. This is my favorite Resident Evil, mainly because a friend of mine and I just played the hell out of it, and I have a lot of good memories, but I like it. It's the one that I understand the most. So here's one that I like the least. 6. That was not a good one at all. And we'll just leave it at that. Resident Evil 2 Revelations. Rare Replay. This is definitely worth the money. I think it started out as like a $30 game, but it's probably a $15 game now, maybe even cheaper used. It's awesome. 30 hit games in one epic collection. Sniper Elite 4. My cousin picked that up for me, and we played the hell out of it. He loves being a sniper, so that plays right into it. I'm not so much of a sniper, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. The controls, though, were a little wonky for me. Sunset Overdrive. Oh, man, I think this game underperformed, but great game. It's an open world. It's got, like, vibrant colors. It's, like, punk rock. It's great. Spider-Man 2. I actually really enjoyed that. Getting down to the home stretch here. Saints Row, Reelected, and Get Out of Hell, and... Man, I love this, dude. These are both funky games, and they're not meant to be taken seriously. They are just pure fun, and man, I love them. Can't wait. I hope they make more. Shadow of Mordor. Awesome game. Awesome game. Want to get the complete edition, because I didn't get the DLC on that. But they now have it on disc, so why not? And it's super cheap. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants in Manhattan. Awesome game. Just wish it was longer. Transformers, Rise of the Darkspark. It's your average Michael Bay Transformer kind of game. Thief. It's more stealth, so I'm not a stealth guy. It wasn't really for me. Tropico 5. Haven't got to it yet, but I hear good things. A lot of people recommended this to me when I was on my simulation kick. Kind of got my fill of that for a little while, so I'll eventually get to it. Titanfall. Awesome game. Love it. And you can get the first one for like next to nothing now. Let's see here. Oh, Titanfall 2. Excellent game. Story is awesome. Really awesome story. Short, but really good story. I felt the online on 2, though, was not as good as the online in 1. And I felt the Titans were a lot more fragile in 2 than they were 1. Here is a really good Transformers game, especially if you grew up in the 80s like I did. Transformers Devastation. It's based on the 80s cartoon Transformers. The real Transformers, by the way. Only complaint is there's no online, and it's super short. I think it's like a 6-hour campaign, but it is pretty cheap. Technomancer. I tried this game. I put about 10 hours into it. It's on Mars, so instantly anything with Mars or stuff like that. I'm a sucker for stuff for Mars, you know. You just to Mars, you know. But it just didn't get me. It's just, I guess that's why it was such a cheap game. The Division. This was an awesome game for about the first 40 hours, and it gets repetitive and boring. They really try, I feel, to keep it alive, but they've lost me. I see everybody playing this. At first, when it first came out, I didn't see anybody playing it, but now I see tons of people on my friend list playing this. I've tried it a couple times, and it's just another one that's not for me. JP gave me this. This is a cool game. WRC5, and it's signed by Sebastian Ogier. I hope I said that right. But thank you so much again, JP. He is one of the first people I met on YouTube, and I can't recommend his channel enough, guys. It's JP Styles 85. He does reviews. He's really stepped his game up, too. I like his new intro. Oh, it's awesome. And holy crap, I have to finish this collection video because I left my door open and it's nighttime now and I got moths flying in with all these lights on. So let's hurry up and get through these. Warriors, Orichi Ultimate. I hope I said that right. It's kind of like a Dynasty Warriors. Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. Need to get to that. I hear it's really good. Speaking of Wolfenstein, there's the first one. I still need to get the second one. I've got enough of a backlog of new games right now that I'm going to wait a little bit, and I want to wait for it to drop to, if I can get it on sale for like $20, I'm there. The Walking Dead, Telltale, this is season 1. Of course I recommend it, it's Telltale. This is season 2. And season 3 technically, because it's a new frontier. It doesn't say season 3, I don't think, anywhere, but technically it's season 3 because it follows the same story as 1 and 2. This is a hidden gem right here for Telltale, The Wolf Among Us, and I hear they're making a sequel. Like I said with the Moss, I'm not going to get in detail with this too much, but basically fairy tale characters are real, and they live in New York, and they hide, and the big bad wolf is who you play, and I know it sounds weird, but it's totally worth it. Watch Dogs 2, I have Watch Dogs 1 on 360. I wasn't a big fan of that. I thought I'd try 2, and kind of the same story. I know a lot of people like it, but not for me. XCOM 2, another strategy game. I really like the XCOM series. I think they're good. And then these are some titles that I just recently picked up. You guys would see this on my recent pickups video. That is probably the video before this one. Let's see, Battlefront 2. They did a good job. They got rid of those microtransactions, is from what I understand. And then there's actually a story mode, and this game looks great. It's, as you can see, it's only HDR enhanced, but damn if it looks 4K on my stuff. Here's my game of the year, Shadow of War. You guys, you have to get this game. It is great. It looks superior on the Xbox One X. It's 4K, HDR, but I mean, aside from that, it's a great game, man. They stepped up their game from Shadow of Mordor. All right, here is that Telltale game that I absolutely do not recommend. They failed hard on this. Back to the Future, the game. I'm going to move on pretty quick, but I think it's broken. I'm doing what it's telling me to do, and nothing's happening. Long story short. Scream Ride, another, I don't recommend this. It looked promising, but no. The physics are kind of messed up too. Here's one I do recommend. South Park, The Fractured Butthole. And what's cool is it comes with the first game, which I actually think is a little bit better than this one. But this one is longer. It's an awesome game. They're both awesome games. I just think the first one was a little bit more shocking, or it could just be because it was the first one, and that's, people tend to remember the first of anything in a more positive light. Destiny 2. I think this game is awesome. I know it's getting some hate, but I think it's great, man. I got a buddy who's helping me level up in it too pretty quickly, so I do want to get the expansion. Nobody will play with me online basically because I don't have it yet, but there's some stuff I still need to do first before I even get to that. Forza 7 looks gorgeous on the Xbox. It is a Forza game. If you've ever played one before, it's going to be no different than your normal Forza game, except they've stepped up their game on graphics, and I hope you have a good internet connection because it's got like a 69 gigabyte download, at least for the One X version. Holy crap! It makes my 1 terabyte hard drive on the Xbox One X seem like a 500 gig on the regular. It's just too small. And last, and probably one of the least because of the physics on it, is Marvel Pinball Epic Collection Volume 1. Pinball games are entertaining. I mean, they're fun, but if you guys are old enough to remember I think it's called Space Cadet. It was on PCs, like it came with Windows, and it was just a generic pinball game that you played on a computer. That had superior physics to this, so I can't recommend it. Anyway, guys, that is my Xbox One X, or my Xbox One game collection. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I know this is one of my most demanded videos. Sorry it took a while to get to it, but there you go. Those are 96 physical releases, and I've probably got half a dozen or so digitals. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. As always, please like, share, and subscribe this video. And as always, game on.